typically the World Cup finals are held in New York or L.A. It's at the Rose Bowl, SoFi, the incredibly boring Meadowlands Stadium, whatever, right? And I understand what New York and L.A. are in our country. Like, I understand that. But you get a brand new, super dope stadium, right down the street from the United States Capitol. I think you got a chance of having the women's final in D.C. Like, everything will change with this, and it just is the further, signification of how this operation, this organization now does everything the right way.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so damn exciting.
Yeah, I love it because you think about, you mentioned the World Cup. I mean, just think about if they were holding it in Germany or if they're holding it in London or England. You think they're skipping London? You think they're skipping Berlin? You're not skipping the capital city of the country, right? But somehow, because of the lack of infrastructure and the bad stadium, people just keep skipping D.C. around here. And look, I get, like you said, New York, I get L.A., I get all that stuff. We're still D.C. We don't have to act second class to anybody.
Right.
We're the nation's capital. So I'm thrilled to have something that we can call our own. You're going to get big-time events. You're going to get a Super Bowl. You're going to get a Final Four. You're going to get all these things. And the thing that I'm excited about now, JP, is now we're on to the stage that I think people get excited about, where before it was, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And people are saying it is. People are saying it's not. And we're talking about votes. And we're talking. Now we can say, this is what I want in the stadium. This is the amenity I want. This is the tailgating I want. This is all the stuff that now goes into the fun of that. We're going to have to have give and take as fans, right? Like, there's going to be some people that are happy, some people aren't. But now it's on to, we're building this thing. What are some amenities you want? That's the fun part. What are the concession food like? What are the... I'm excited about seeing, like, the vision and how this thing all goes on. And it's finally done, where you don't have to worry about, is this ever going to happen or not? Now it's going to happen.
It's happening. Landfill, as he always does, has some questions for us. How excited for the new stadium are you, Toby?
Fired up. I wasn't necessarily as worried about it going to the RFK location. It doesn't have as much of a sentimental value to me, but something that rings in my mind every time we talk about this was Joe Theismann. I can't remember exactly where he had said it. I don't know if it was with you guys or someone else, but he basically said this is a perfect way to kind of tie in previous generations of fans with the current generation, where, me, Stallion, guys our age, big deal, right? It's going to RFK. We just want a new stadium. But for fans like my uncle and my family that's been around and saw the Super Bowls, they're thrilled that it's going back to the location.
Did you ever go to a Nats game at RFK?
I went to one, I think.
Okay.
I went to
not
one.
60?
No, not 60. But yeah, I think it's perfect where you can kind of tie those generations together, and where so much has been kind of torn apart because of the name change and all these different things. Now you can kind of tie those back together with a winning football team, hopefully, and that's beautiful.
And you bring back the old unis. Hopefully, eventually, that you just wear those again.
Yeah.
It looks like they're incorporating the Spear logo, which again is new. That Spear is for the Commanders. They're not going back, but it does give you a sense of tying it all together. I think the leadership of this team now is really trying to make this embracing the past and moving forward. As far as the new stadium for me, I'm thrilled. One, just driving out to Landover, it just feels so soulless. It's kind of similar to the Meadowlands, frankly. It's just off the side of the highway, surrounded by parking lots. I think this means something. So if you're my age and you remember RFK and the seats bouncing, it means a lot. It was funny, though. So I was at NBC last night, New All Ears. Go check it out on YouTube. And there's a young PA there, Kai, who I like Kai a lot. He's a smart kid. He's been out here for training camp and stuff. And I was like, dude, are you excited about RFK? And he's like, not really. I think if you're I think Stallion has said this. I think for young people, the location of the stadium doesn't really matter. They just want a dope new stadium.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know what you're going to get now? A dope new stadium. And I think if that's your drive, awesome. If it is the nostalgia of RFK, awesome. But I think it can be all things for all people. I think the location, if you look at our city, right? If you look at just the DMV overall, that location is pretty damn centralized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard to argue. If you're coming from Fairfax or Germantown, it's probably a little bit closer. If you're coming from Southern Maryland, it's probably a little bit closer. There's Metro's an option. I think by 2030, the amount of driverless cars and stuff. Like, I just think everything's going to look so different, and I think it just makes a ton of sense. I think it shows that this group doesn't mess around and gets stuff done, and I think it's really exciting. Landfill asks a good question here. He says, do you believe this is actually the final vote? And I had that thought driving out to Ashburn this morning, like, dude, this is actually done. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
And could there be other procedural stuff? Of course. But I at least feel like this is done. And next step is like shovels in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the next vote might be on whether that third parking garage or whatever it is, like stuff that is ancillary to the actual big stadium, right? That's going to happen. Stuff around it, maybe issues, or there's going to be hiccups, no doubt, in the construction, and there's going to be different things that pop up, but nothing to this point, or at this point, is going to be to the level of what we've been talking about where, is it going to get derailed with some of the reports that came out yesterday or before the first vote, and is this ever going to happen? It's going to happen. It's just now the extra stuff that comes with building a new stadium. And, yeah, I'm thrilled about it.
It's exciting, man, and hopefully fans are excited. I think a lot of people understand the enormity of it, and if you don't, and it's just like, okay, cool, they're getting a new stadium, that's cool too. There's no wrong answer unless you're one of the people that's like, no, I wanted it in Dumfries or stay in Landover.
I mean, I'm just thrilled that we're going to have like the crown jewel of a sporting capital finally, right? Just having something where you can go to the stadium. It's not constantly talked about how dumpy your stadium is, and you feel second class because your stadium is second class, right? And you can finally feel like, okay, in the nation's capital, we're hosting big events. You're going to have – I know people get annoyed with the Taylor Swift stuff, but the fact that Taylor Swift on a massive concert that people are spending thousands of dollars on tickets to go to, they're skipping D.C., like that shouldn't happen. And so you're going to have that now. You're going to have a Final Four. You're going to have a Super Bowl.
Some K-pop.
I've never had a Super Bowl anywhere that's really been accessible to me, right? I mean, I'm thrilled about the draft coming here, but that's totally different than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a different
right?
entity.
So it's going to be so sick to have all that stuff now in D.C. where we have big events all the time, like you talk about. Every 4 years there's a presidential election, inauguration, all that stuff.
Right.
We have big events like that all the time.
There's protests that get hundreds of thousands of people. Right?
But for us sports fans, you finally get that big-time event that everyone else around the nation gets to seemingly enjoy. The New Yorks, the LAs, heck, even Minneapolis hosting a Super Bowl, all those cities.
Minneapolis should not host a Super Bowl.
D.C. finally gets one, right? D.C. gets one for the first time in something like that for the first time in forever.
Yeah, man, it's really exciting. Landfill, what's your excitement level? Do you feel like it's really a done deal?
I'm like 85% sure that it's a done deal. I honestly thought like 3 votes ago was going to be the final vote, so I'm still a little skeptical on that one. My excitement level for the stadium, I'd say I'm like a 5 or a 6.
Now, let me ask you something. Will you go to the new stadium?
Maybe once.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting. When's the last time you went to Northwest?
When they got crushed by the Bears on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you went with Greg.
Yeah.
That was the day Dick Butkus died.
Okay.
I think I've told this story. So that's a Thursday night game. I'm there early, and a person with the organization, when the news got out that Dick Butkus died, somebody that worked for the team, for the Commanders, was like, damn, he couldn't wait till tomorrow? Just because there was an obvious sentiment like Bears ain't losing on the day Dick Butkus died.
Bears are going to win. And they definitely did.
They definitely did. And that was the low point of the Rivera era, and there were others. Jeffrey, you were clear. You were, I don't want to say few, because I know that this subset of people existed, and I think it hits home for you as somebody that grew up kind of in the shadows of where Northwest Stadium is now. You wanted them to stay there. Now it's official. They're going to move. How are you feeling about all this?
I'm happy about it. The team returning back. Look, like I said, I only wanted it to stay there for personal selfish reasons because it's easier for me to get to the stadium. That's it. But a new stadium in D.C., I'm excited. I can't wait till it's built.
Also, Jeff, by the year 2030, you think you're going to be living in the same place? Like, you might move, dog.
Yeah, I'm not going to be living in the same place. I might not be living in the same place in a year.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
considering how many people try to steal your car, I've long advocated for you to move.
Yes, I am getting out of the hood. I can't do it no more.
We need to get Jeff to, like, McLean. Like, let's find
Yeah.
Jeff a safe neighborhood.
No. I think I'll go to Southern Maryland. I'm a Maryland boy. I like Maryland. I want to be by the water. I like the weather. I'm not going to Virginia. Sorry.
Yeah,
How are you
Virginia's
feeling?
Way different than Maryland weather, by the way.
How you feeling, Jeffrey? You were sick, and you got pepper soup, and now you're back?
Yeah, man. I don't know what was going on yesterday, but hey, let me tell you something, JP. That pepper soup
Tell me.
will have your body temperature by at least 20 degrees when you eat it. It will raise it so high. I was so hot yesterday after eating that soup, man. Whew. You would die. You would cry. You would cry for sure.
Okay. Well, I probably won't eat it, but I'm glad to know it's an option. If I get a chest cold, there's pepper soup from Jeff's buddy.
Yeah, they want
And
to pass on that.
You're anti-pepper soup, Tobo?
Yeah, I'm passing on that.
All right, we got a packed show. Really exciting about the RFK stuff. Obviously, we got to dig into the quarterback situation, all the injuries here. Maryland Governor Wes Moore is going to join us at 11, giving us his picks. We're going to talk to Peter Rosenberg. We're going to talk to Sean Merriman a little later. I want to talk to Merriman about what he saw from Josh Connerly, Commander's rookie tackle, who really struggled against Parsons, has another big challenge coming this week with Max Crosby. JT the Brick covers the Raiders. We'll talk to JT the Brick at 1:30, get a real Raiders preview. Their offense has been stagnant. Washington's hasn't been good, but I'm very curious to see kind of what the Raiders crowd thinks of their offense so far. It's going to be a packed show. We got plenty to get into, plenty to discuss. Just on a personal level, man, I used to go to RFK Stadium. My mom did a ton of events there. I used to go all the time. I remember going with my family. Then as I got older, I remember going with my friends, going to HF Festival, Skins games, Nats games, DC United games. I cannot wait. Truly, I cannot wait. I was texting with members of ownership about this yesterday. Like, on a personal level, the emotions I will feel taking my daughters to RFK, whatever it's called, whatever it looks like, understanding that it's not the same, but just being at the same location, being downtown, that land, the actual land with the waterfront done correctly, will be beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's going, and I think they're going to do everything right. I think you're going to have affordable housing. You're going to have green spaces. You're going to have parks. You're going to have grocery stores. Like, I remember when I was out of college and I lived in Northeast, Nats come back, they're playing at RFK, and then they announce where they're trying to build Nats Park. And I remember me and my roommate Pistu driving just around that area, and it was nothing. It was like industrial, like wasteland. And there were like some weird strip clubs and stuff. Like, it was a weird area around Nats Park. And there was some housing, but not a ton. The housing was on the other side of South Cap. And I remember driving around there and now going there all the time for the radio studio and going to Nats games, whatever, or just going to the wharf or Navy Yard waterfront. Like, what you can do, what a stadium can do, built correctly and incorporating the surrounding area will transform that neighborhood. And I think for current property owners, for people that live there, you're going to make a lot of money. Your equity is going to shoot through the roof. And will there be some hurdles with construction and stuff? Yeah, but like, drive around the city anyway. There's going to be construction over there anyway. The end result to me will absolutely justify the means. And I know when I walk in there for the first time with my daughters and my family, it's going to be an emotional thing. And I cannot wait to see it and be there. And I'm really happy for all the grief and comments Brian and I have made about the council and needing to get this done. They got it done. And the ends justify the means for me. I think they're going to build something incredible, and I think it's going to be good for all residents of the DMV. I really do.